I just took creatine for the first time and I feel like I'm on cocaine. What? If you think about oats, what really is it? It's just peasant food. Chill the out. Do things that regulate your nervous system. Stop putting too much time in fight and flight mode. That doesn't make sense. Your circadian rhythm's probably cooked, bro. Come on. Stop guessing and asking people on Reddit. Like, seriously. 1,000+ studies? How do you read 1,000+ studies? Who the has time to actually... Alright guys, we're going to react to health posts on Reddit now. I haven't been on this in a long time, but last time I was on here, there's some interesting, weird, and funny posts. So yeah, we're going to read it, see what people's problems are or whatever they've discovered. Maybe offer some value. I'll leave some replies to these people, not leave them hanging. And yeah, we'll see how we go. So let's start with this one. Healing gut dysbiosis. 5 antibiotics dealing with GI issues. 5 antibiotics for 6 months straight. Damn, so this is pretty extreme. Guys, if you don't know, taking antibiotics is not good for your gut health because it's basically like a nuclear bomb for your good and bad bacteria. So you actually need a good balance of bacteria in your gut microbiome. Now, I'm not here saying I'm an expert. I'm no expert in any particular field with health, like gut health or whatever, but yeah, she's pretty much cooked herself. And she's dealing with all these issues. So leaky gut, anxiety, rashes. So mental and physical issues. She's not breaking down food, digesting it properly. She's seeing it physically on her skin. Her energy is probably terrible as well. She probably can't even feel happiness. My guy was completely trashed by COVID. I eat 30 different plants a week and have completely healed my biome. Small amounts of everything go a few days between FODMAP foods like onions, avocado. So this guy's saying that he focused on having a diverse range of food, which is actually very important for gut health. Just having diversity, right? I don't know about it being entirely plants. I'm sure he probably ate meat and dairy. And by FODMAP, if you guys don't know what that is, it's basically like a selection of foods that don't really cause much issues with digestion. So they're just a lot safer. So low FODMAP is safer, high FODMAP is likely to cause issues. So they always recommend you have low FODMAP foods when you're wanting to heal and recover your gut health, right? So drink green tea, breathe, it's a journey. Yeah. I mean, gut health takes a while to heal. It's kind of like getting in shape. It'll take months and maybe even years if you've really fucked yourself up. I'm gonna read a few more comments and then just give my advice on what she should do. No soda, glutamine, some supplement, sauerkraut, kefir, kombucha. So just pre and probiotics, natural. Water with proper minerals, of course, eggs. Stop eating 3 hours before laying down for bed. 100%. Thoughts on oats? I've been eating them every day for months, but obviously nothing's really healing or helping. Yeah, I would say oats are actually not that good. They actually contain something that affects your digestion. I believe it's something that's in oatmeal that affects your digestion of certain nutrients. So it's a reason I stopped having oatmeal as well because I was actually noticing it. So there is gluten, there is herbicides and pesticides if it's not organic. But even if you get organic, there is something in there called, I can't find it, they're not speaking about it, but there's something in it that when it builds up into your gut, it stops you're not able to digest food properly. So oatmeal, if you're having too much, especially consistently every day, that's when you get issues. I used to have like 100 grams every day. All right. If you think about oats, what really is it? It's just peasant food. Like it's like, look at oats, compare that to like a juicy steak or eggs or like some raw milk or raw honey. Like fuck oats, man. Don't rely too much on that. Nervous system healing, super important. She's asking any recommendations for this. I mean, really, it's just chill the fuck out. Do things that regulate your nervous system. Stop putting too much time in fight and flight mode, which will be, it might be an automatic state for her at this point, taking all those probiotics and destroying her gut microbiome. Her serotonin's probably very low, her dopamine's probably fried, so she's probably overly stimulating herself. But yeah, just get in nature, breathe, relax your body, exercise, eat clean food, but most of all, just take breaks from stimulation, just get in nature, chill the fuck out. Rust blood testing, I don't know what rust means, followed by 6 months of food elimination diet, 100%, followed by years of adding probiotic food. Yeah, so elimination diet is always like a good move, pretty much cutting out all foods, starting off with foods that are very low in the FODMAP. So starting off with like 3 ingredients, seeing how you feel, document it, and then after a few days, add 1 more ingredient, increase that dose a few days. If you get a good reaction, keep having it. If you get a bad reaction, cut it out. And then over time, you start adding like more to your collection, and then you'll know for sure you've got 10, 15 foods that you can have that aren't going to give you any gut health issues. So that's a slow process that most people won't do. I never really did that particularly. I just went straight to doing a test and just sticking to what's healthy and organic and natural and listening to my body in the short term. But right, so I haven't heard anyone here actually mention to just skip all the bullshit and do a test to figure out real data and what you should actually do. There's a few kind of tests you can do. There's a GI map, there's a breath test, there's a microbiome stool test. There's a bunch of things you can do, but if your case is that bad, like do all of the tests, speak to a doctor, get referred to a specialist, do all that shit. Like stop guessing and asking people on Reddit. Like seriously. All right, so let's write her a reply. I'm just gonna voice to text it. A lot of their advice here is great as well. I'd have to agree with and making sure you do that. All the best. Take care. Is it sympathize or empathize? I don't really know the word I was going for. I meant to just say like, I feel your pain, dude. Okay, cool. Let's go on to the next one. I don't want to be in microbiome specifically. Let's go back here. I am constantly tired. All right, number 2. Hi there, new to this subreddit. I'm unsure if this is even the right place, but I want some advice, would be greatly appreciated. I'm 19, female, if that's relevant. No matter how long I sleep, I'm constantly tired, whether 5 or 12. I always fall back asleep. If I sit comfortably for too long, I fall asleep. In college, on buses, waiting rooms, I always feel sluggish and feel the need to sit down. I limit my caffeine as I can, but on college days, 3 days a week, I'll have coffee in the morning and maybe 1 Red Bull to keep me alert during the week. Blah, blah, blah. I'm not on any medication. Affecting my life. I always sleep in and miss college. I have low iron and I know it. Would contribute to the fatigue. Well, yeah, you're low on iron. You're going to feel tired depending if you're very low or low. Like that's going to affect you as well. It might not just be your sleep deprivation. It's also going to affect your sleep restoration and quality. So address that shit. Like eat some steak and have some oranges. What are you doing? So again, when it comes to sleep, like there's so many things you need to be doing to actually ensure it is going to be high quality. Right, so get your morning light to set your circadian rhythm. Finish your last meal 3 hours before bed. Avoid stress an hour before bed. Avoid blue light 2 hours before bed. Get in bed at the same time every night. Limit caffeine 10 hours before bed. There's a lot of things. Get in bed. Be cold, hungry, deaf, blind. If you do that, I've just told you like 90% of it, and you can breathe through your nose, you'll get good sleep. So if she's already doing all of that, and she's still getting issues, see a sleep specialist, right? Go see a sleep specialist, address your iron, and that's that. Like most people just don't really do the basics correct. Now, can I just send her my sleep video? I really want to just do that. It's going to be marked as self-promotion. I'm out here saving lives, guys. Cool, done. Saving lives. I just took creatine for the first time and I feel like I'm on cocaine. What? I googled, does creatine make it hard to sleep? And this sub came up. I'm usually awake in the evening. Nope, this is my bedtime and I'm a sleepy person. Did I have extra coffee today? Nope. I took creatine at noon. I started feeling a little funny hours later. Really hyped at 8 p.m. It's now 10 p.m. my bedtime. I'm not going to read the comments. I'm just going to tell you guys what I think. So this guy's probably he's trying to tie causes and effects, saying that I felt and experienced this. It's from creatine. Who knows? Maybe the girl he asked out said yes and is really hyped. Maybe he got a promotion. Maybe he won the betting on the horses or something. Maybe his shit is actually laced. Maybe he did have a coffee in something that he thought there wasn't any caffeine in it. Like there's so many things that can cause that. Whereas you've never really heard of creatine doing that. All it does is it builds up, like it takes time as well. If it's his first time ever, it doesn't really make sense because it takes a while for creatine to start working. Has to build up in your body. You have to drink water for it to load up into your muscles, and it doesn't really help with that. It helps with like strength and cognitive performance, a little bit. But to feel like you're on cocaine, like it's very, very unlikely. Like it just doesn't really make sense. So let's read the comments. That's weird. Not supposed to happen. Allegedly. I have the same side effects from creatine. I can only take a super small amount in the morning. Otherwise, I can't sleep. Creatine works by increasing your body's everything help regenerate. It's not going to cause you to not sleep from ATP production. That doesn't make sense. Your circadian rhythm's probably cooked, bro. Come on. Being more wired, which may worsen anxiety or make it harder to wind down at night. It could make it harder to wind down at night, but you just gotta like wind down and then you'll be fine. As long as your circadian rhythm's locked in and you're doing the things I mentioned in the other post, like extra ATP isn't gonna fuck you up that bad with your sleep. Sleep effects vary. It doesn't directly act as a stimulant, but if your nervous system is already on edge, the added energy of it can amplify that state and interfere. Sure, if you're not disciplined with your energy and you're like, oh, I'm so energized, I'm gonna keep working and like record content at midnight, then sure. It's paired with a lot of pre-workouts, but it isn't the source of energy. I'd recommend reading more about it because it can be dangerous to lose sleep or have other side effects that affect your brain functioning. Yeah, true. If I were them, I would like double check their creatine source and where they got it from, because there's probably some other shit in it. Mystical Morning in Melbourne. I feel like that's close to where I live, low key, but that's pretty cool. Reta results. So, damn, let's open this because I've actually started taking Reta, which is a peptide. So the three key functions of retatrutide, it doesn't just suppress appetite, right? So it does that as one of them, right? So it suppresses your appetite and slows down digestion by targeting GLP-1 and GIP, right? So you're going to feel full for longer. It increases your fat metabolism. So you're going to be burning fat for energy a lot easier. Improving metabolic control, lowers your blood sugar, improves HbA1C, which is pretty much your blood sugar, and reducing liver fat, so it lowers visceral fat. So Reta, I have a whole video coming out about that, but I've been taking it. I'm on day 4. I've definitely got more energy, losing a little bit of weight. I'm not that low on my calories, right? But yeah, this is her result. So 1 year taking retatrutide, pretty hectic transformation. That's actually crazy. She's in mad shape. Common stack is Reta, GHKCU and Wolverine stack separate. So she's recovering from the gym a lot easier with these other ones, but Reta would be the main sort of one helping her to lose weight, suppress her appetite, burn more fuel at rest. Portitude on GLP-1s are not an easy solution. Proper dieting, high protein intake, and consistent exercise is the most important thing. You can't expect the peps to do all the work. Absolutely, right? There's a reason I got on peptides now, because my fundamentals are so locked in, and I'm like, you know what? It's worth the risk, you know, of the long term. There's no research. This guy's saying he's 63 and he takes Reta and testosterone and it makes him crave going to the gym. That's interesting. So yeah, peptides. I hope peptides gets a lot more research and attention, and it's something that will benefit a lot of people. You know, it might make being in shape less valuable because people can't really take these sort of shortcuts, right? But again, you still have to be eating and training and sleeping properly to really get results. So this guy's showing his blood work. Do I really want to look at that? It looks pretty boring. I'm no expert with blood work anyway. Okay, so his cholesterol is pretty high. Get on a statin yesterday. What the hell's a statin? Okay, it's just a cholesterol medication if he's at super high risk. Yeah, I'm not really going to comment too much on this. I mean, if your cholesterol's that high, you've probably fucked up with your lifestyle habits, and it's reversible with correct lifestyle habits, which is what I do as a health coach. I'm not particularly a doctor. You should take prescription medications temporarily, but you got to fix your shit. You got to fix who you are, fix your habits day to day. What these guys are saying is probably great. I mean, do cardio, take high quality fish oil, take whatever this is. That's probably found in food, like reduce fat. It's all lifestyle changes, right? So yeah, I could see that's probably not fucking good, and you need to change. So yeah, buy my program, dude. All right, let's keep looking. Why can someone eat poorly and not have gut issues, but then someone else can eat so healthy and struggle a lot? Wow, this is a really good post. Oh, bacteria. So what I'll say before I read the comments is your gut microbiome, a lot of it is kind of luck. I know a lot of people that are just really healthy. They've got really good skin quality. Their hair is nice and thick. They've got great energy. They don't get bloated or any issues. And then you've got other kids who grow up, you know, losing their hair like in their teenage years. They're always burping and farting, you know, which is funny, but it's gut related issues. And a lot of things affect your gut microbiome. It's not just about what you eat, but that is one thing when you're younger. It's also stress, if you've got any weird traumas. It's also your genetics. What foods are you prone to getting issues to? Maybe you've grown up celiac. Maybe you've grown up with different kinds of food intolerances to dairy or gluten or whatever. And you don't really understand that or figure it out or obviously prevent it, right? So you just end up going through life more susceptible to these gut health issues, whereas other people don't really have to try it. They're just pretty lucky. What this person said, yeah, chronic stress, that is definitely very, very valid. Everything changed when I chilled the fuck out. Fair enough. Genetics, yes. It's everything you listed and more. There's no singular driver. Correct. Exactly what I said. Let's leave a comment here for this guy. So this is what I said, guys. I said, hey, bro, I think a lot of it comes down to luck. Some people grow up with celiac or other intolerances to dairy and other foods, and they don't realize it yet. Some people grow up with chronic stress. The kids in school who are always, I meant to say farting and burping because they have gut health issues. Other people get away with it. They're pretty lucky you'll see them. They just have better health, their skin is better, their hair is a lot thicker. All right, boom. Saving more lives. I might react to like 1 or 2 more, and then we'll see how we go. The overstimulated mind. Here we go. Sleep hackers. Some nights I wake up at 2 a.m. to use the toilet, only to spend 2 hours tossing and turning. Eventually, I wear myself out, doom scrolling on my phone before finally falling asleep. 4 hours. For context, I work out in the morning, my last coffee at 2 p.m., go to bed, wake up at 6 on good days. Also take a ton of magnesium. Good. He's doing a lot of like the right things, right? He could just be missing a few. He could just be overly stimulated throughout the day, as he's already saying. He's just never deloading things. But I would probably argue that he doesn't really avoid blue light and get light in the morning, because when you do that properly, you will feel sleepy at night. So unless your mind is really chaotic, you've got serious like mental health issues, you should be able to feel pretty sleepy at nighttime, like naturally, when you do those things. I used to think like, oh, I'm so stressed at nighttime. It's like, no, your circadian rhythm's just cooked. You're spiking your cortisol in the evening. You're not allowing it to spike early in the morning and let your melatonin peak in the evening. So you think you're stressed and you've got like an active mind, but no, you're not allowing your body to feel sleepy. Let's read some of the comments here. I use a Bluetooth sleeping mask. Like this kind of shit is just like a little tool, a little gadget. It's not going to override your biology, you know, just like doing meditation and all this stuff. But I mean, it could help in those situations temporarily. It's not really going to fix the root cause. So I have a busy mind at night and it's due to anxiety and PTSD. I have something to listen to. Anyway, fall asleep. Podcasts. Yeah, I listen to podcasts like actually most nights, right? I don't feel like I need it, but it does help. All right. I'm going to read a few more comments and then just drop the source that we have. I feel like I would have written this when I started taking Zoloft recently, which is antidepressant medication. A very low dose because of my anxiety at night, blah, blah, blah. Okay, this person saying they had a lot of anxiety, so Zoloft helped. Okay, cool. Severely cut off water intake past 7 p.m., which you probably don't really need to. If you increase your sodium intake, your body will hold on to water a lot easier. On the contrary, what makes people recommend, if I have Greek yogurt and banana, I will sleep great. I've always struggled with low blood sugar. I think there's been... Okay, if you struggle with low blood sugar, your body might actually wake you up during the nighttime for you to eat. If you're low on carbohydrates and maybe low on blood sugar, if there's a connection there, then that will cause that to happen, right? Okay, this is literally what she just said. Your cortisol will spike telling you we are starving, go and eat. Oh, this person's right. 2 p.m. is late for a coffee. If you're sleeping at 9:30 a.m., 100%. 2 p.m. is good if you're sleeping at like midnight, whatever, it's 10 hours after that, right? But yeah, if you're sleeping at 9:30, like it could literally just be from the coffee. So it could be from one thing. I don't want to forget what I want to say, so I'm just going to say it now. I don't know if it's a guy or a girl. I'm just going to say, hey, mate, I'll try and help you out. Seems like you're doing all the right things. One thing to know if you're blind, deaf, hungry, and cold. Okay, cool. Saved another life, guys. Boom. Creatine just fixed my life. Oh, God. Okay, there's a lot of posts. I just want to... Let's open them in new tabs and we'll prioritize like maybe one more. Okay, we've answered a few sleep. We've answered a few microbiome ones. Let's see if there's any other interesting one. Okay, this one looks interesting. Study about creatine. Sunlight within 30 minutes of waking up worth the hassle? Yes. Let's speak about that. 8-week transformation on a Reddit. Let's start with that and then we'll go through the other ones. Oh, this guy removed. What the fuck? Someone saying that's fake. Prob ate a lot of chicken and broccoli. I call bullshit on 2 months. Either doctored photo or different year. Also, peptide shield, so strong incentive to make it seem amazing. What? Everyone's just saying it's fake. Okay, anyway. Creatine just fixed my life. Lately, I've been on pretty rough emotional roller coaster. A couple of weeks ago, I was so depressed I could barely do anything, no motivation, just felt empty. A bit better, coming up, stressed. So he was stressed out. He found a video about creatine, he watched it, it broke down, blah, blah, blah. He spoke about high doses, how it has cognitive benefits. He was skeptical, blah, blah, blah. Feels a lot better. Cool. I can't argue with science and what actually happens. If it works, fucking do it. So let's see what these guys are saying. Interesting. So I haven't actually had high doses, like doses that high in a while, to be honest. I was taking 10 for a while and it was working quite well, but you just have to drink a lot more water with it. And that's something I wasn't super consistent with. So I didn't want to put my kidneys or whatever at like more stress, essentially. But I mean, reading this, I might get back onto my 10 gram creatine, maybe 15. So this guy's saying, I feel so good when I take 10 grams of creatine as opposed to none. Supposedly boosts serotonin. So I actually didn't know that. It boosts serotonin. All right, another one about creatine. So a single dose of creatine improved cognitive processing by nearly 25% during sleep deprivation. Okay, so during sleep, we've actually heard of this before, how it helps so much. If you are sleep deprived, creatine kind of helps you combat the cognitive deficiencies somehow. So I'm not sure how much we really want to read this. It's a lot of reading. He's been taking 5 grams a day, 3 years, and wants to increase the dosage. He's dug into 1,000 plus studies. How do you read 1,000 plus studies? Who the fuck has time to actually... I don't know what people do. I've not read more than 100 studies in my life. Probably not more than 10, if I'm honest. He's found some wild stuff about creatine. Single doses of 20 grams can increase processing by 25%, and the effect lasts 9 hours. So, cool. So vegetarians respond 2 times better than meat eaters. Interesting. If you guys want to read this yourself, read it here. Okay, so basically the 5 grams was more so for old muscle research, which makes sense. We've been saying that for like 50 years or so. Not brain optimization. So it does, yeah, it makes kind of sense. So you guys can read that study, but they basically tested them and they found out that they perform a lot better when sleep deprived. I'm just going to go through and summarize it. So vegetarians get better results. It does not cause kidney damage, dehydration, or cramping. Okay, so that actually will break my myth. I might get back onto the creatine. Women have been underserved by creatine research, but that is changing. For decades, most creatine studies excluded women who had tiny female sample sizes. Okay, interesting. New 2025 studies are specifically examining menstrual cycles and menopausal benefits. The most advanced creatine forms are just marketing. So creatine, it seems like creatine is creatine, which I've thought that for a little while. None show superior absorption in head-to-head studies. The better absorption claims are mostly unproven marketing, right? So the questions this guy's asking is, why has the high-dose cognitive research filtered, or why has it not been filtered into mainstream recommendations? Who knows? I feel like we've all kind of heard of it lately. Are there long-term 5-year studies with 10 years plus? Probably not. What is the optimal cycling period for high-dose creatine? Good question. I'd like to know that as well. For those who have increased it, what subjective things did you notice? So let's read what some people have said. This is what I want to know. Is the required water consumption any higher with that amount? Good question. Also, when I go above, I do need to take a shit. Cool. Thanks for sharing. Can only absorb 5 grams at a time. You can't really take 20 grams at once. Okay, well, this guy's not proving it or explaining why he said that, so that's not really helpful. For me, it is enough to either add some salt or take it with a meal to be able to take above 20 grams without issues. So he's speaking about, is the water consumption critical? So yeah, I'd like someone to make a video on YouTube, maybe there already is, but answering these critical questions. Because yeah, I'd consider doing it. And I used to take 10 grams a day for like the past year, and it was working fine. I just decided to get off it to see what happened and try and see how it was really benefiting me. And I got off it at the same time as me taking retatrutide, so yeah, it's kind of hard to say. So this person's saying he takes it when he gets not enough sleep, but if he takes it consistently, it makes him anxious, brain foggy, and unable to get good sleep. Yes, I've added extra electrolytes. Recently found out I'm near deficient in B12 and have been on a journey to address it. Okay, cool. Interesting. Yeah, there's a lot of variables when it comes to health anyway, right? You can't blame one thing for the other without knowing the whole picture. So let's move on from that. Sunlight within 30 minutes of waking, worth the hassle. What's so fucking hard about it, guys? You go open your door, you go on your balcony, and you fucking drink your water and think about life for 5 minutes. Is it really that hard? You wake up, you shit, you brush your teeth, you shower, you drink some water outside. Like, is it that hard, guys? There's about 5 to 10 things that actually work, and this is one of them. The rest of the things help, but not by that much. Yeah, I'd agree. It's probably... Let's answer it right now. Never tried water. Does that actually help? What are the other stuff? I would agree. Okay. Water helps. You do need water. Stretching, journaling, meditating. Whack in comparison. Alright, that's pretty much it from me. Hope you guys found that useful. It's kind of funny, and I saved a few lives. So, yeah, see you in the next one. Watch my other videos. See you later. Bye.